Hello and welcome to Drunken Dragon Gaming, where the drinks are cold, the meals are warm, and the games are on fire. Tonight we're back into Enshrouded. Gonna be spending probably a good chunk of our evening actually doing the work on rebuilding Longkeep. I just figured I'd stream some of the rebuild process of what we're trying to do. We've gotten a little bit done, not much. But we're starting to fill in some walls. We're going to get some of this stuff looking really nice. So we'll see how far we get tonight. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And getting ourselves moving forward. But please do bear with me just a moment. I didn't get a chance to grab a smoke. So we're going to grab a smoke real quick. We are going to do a survey of the area. Because see, we've got all this open space down here. All the shrubble that needs to be cleaned up. But then, we've got that wall there. And this wall here. And then we're going to wipe out some stuff here. And probably dig out some of that rock there. Probably we'll wind up uncovering a wall. That's my guess. We're going to try to uncover all we can and go from there. See what we find. And then that'll give us our buildable space and we'll work on that. So, alright, give me just a moment, chat. And I'm not sure if I got anybody joining me tonight. I think it might be just me tonight. Which is the other reason that makes it nice to sit down and do a build stream, because I'm going to be on here solo. This is probably one of the best things I can be working on. And that way when they come back, they have a whole new town. And then, of course, then they've got to figure out where everything is again, because everything got moved. So, yeah, we should get quite a bit done this evening, I think. My hope is to get a separate bedroom set up, decorated, lit, everything for each survivor. So that's what I'm gonna work towards getting accomplished tonight. That's my end goal for tonight, is to have every single survivor their own room set up, decorated, whatnot. And they'll have their work area set up as well. But let's start with bedrooms, and then we can start looking at work area. And then, if time permits, we will start working on the main keep, which will be the bedroom for the PCs or players. Or for me. It'll have a throne and everything else in it. Should come out looking fairly nice, I think. I'm picturing it being about 4-story tall. And then choosing the build material. So I'm thinking about doing the half timber brick down at the bottom, and then doing the regular half timber up at the top. And it'll get built over top of where the warehouse is. So I hope y'all had a good Sunday. Ashes, good to see you. Bill, good to see you. Like I said, give me a moment, finish off the smoke, then we're jumping into this build. Some spots are going to be a slower process than others, because we got to figure out our roofing tiles, which means I think we need a lot more bricks. So we're going to do the roofing in the brick tile to start with, at least. I'd like to do the granite tile, but we won't get granite really going until we get to the Alvendale summits. So, alright, so now for curiosity's sake, I want to see something. Oh, I bet we have enough iron that I can get an iron pickaxe. I'll have to check that. Alright, so there's some wall. Looks like that wall does not dig any further into this. Does this go any deeper? It does. Okay. I want to get all the pre-existing uncovered. We're not going to waste foods on doing this. This would be faster with an iron pickaxe, though. I will say that. Okay, so this went pretty deep in. Let's go see if we can make an iron pickaxe. That's not what I wanted to do. I can get an iron pickaxe. Alright. Let's grab one of those. Let's grab one of those. And let's go ahead and grab that. Okay. Equip that. And trade out our axe. And swap out our pickaxe. There we go. No, don't do that. Let's try to put it away. So I wouldn't do that.
Hey!
This will help us make quicker work of this. And I'm going to block off some areas that they keep on trying to path through. Because it's annoying. Oh yeah, this car's doing that a whole lot faster. I wonder if this would be faster if we... Let's try this. Oh yeah, this is much faster. Alright, that gives us a better idea. We gotta watch out for our non-buildable area. Best part is this doesn't use stamina. Whoops. as much as we can. Yeah, we're going to take out the underside of this wall just so we can free up that area so that we can see what we've got going on. Now this area here, that's going to be more challenging to dig out. Okay. So, main entryway here. So these should be stairs. We're going to clean all this up too. Okay. We'll clear out more as we get further up there. Alright, now, because this opens up here, we could have this go into a small room down here underneath. It just feels like it'd be too tight. But I want to say your door to go, so. Hey, Story. Oh, thank you. Oh, I missed all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, today I'm focusing on actually working on my build for Longkeep. So I'm trying to clear out the area that's going to be used for housing, get all the rubble out of here, whatnot, so that we can get it looking nice and clean. Some of it, I'm probably clearing out more rubble than I need to. But I want to make sure I've got all the space and see what all they had sitting underneath. So then we can start deciding on how we want to do these rooms and everything. It's got some weird builds and build pieces here underneath the rubble. But yeah, this is the main building I'm focusing on today. I did, off screen, rebuild the arch. I thought that came out looking alright. I want to do something else with it. I just haven't decided what yet. And then cleaned up this wall so it looks nice. I'm trying to leave as much of the ivy as I can because I like the ivy on there. We're going to tear out whatever trees we have to. Once that's all done, then we're going to look at rebuilding down there and in the space underneath where I've got the alchemist working, plus the tower, which is where the Hollowed Halls guy is going to be staying. Oh yeah, yeah. This is a build. I'm trying to rebuild Longkeep. And out there, I don't know if you've seen its story. I'm pretty certain you have. But over there, all that wooden space and everything, that's my farm that I built. And then we've got the stables going on too. And the walls from the fortress are actually going to wind up connecting to give me a second.
Mic off.
Oh.
Mic on.
So, but yeah, I'll fly down here so you can see it. So this whole field here is just for flax. And then I got tomatoes and some grapple things. These two fields are going to be for tomatoes and stuff. That's for wheat. Then we've got more stuff for like strawberries and corn and cow meal. And then we're going to be growing some more sage and stuff over here. And then you come over this side, and this is where I had to use the better farm soil. And this is where we got all of our, what is that still called? Saffron. That's where we're growing our saffron and our rubios and our kindle waste flowers. And all that's needed for making spice so we can make really good foods. And then I left myself enough room to build a few more farm plots. And then the space that's out here, all this grass, did the wooden wall all the way around it. I'm going to be adding in fencing in here, but this is going to be where all of our animals are. And then I built the farmer her own house. Man, I really like the fact that we can do this overgrowth thing now. So I was able to do the little, climbing roses climbing up the side of her house. So thought it came out rather nice. Makes her house look kind of cozy. That way now the dog will figure out that he actually has a home. Your food's in your bowl. I don't care if there's a divot in the bowl. There's food in the bowl. So yeah, this has been a work in progress now for a while. Downstairs here, I made the nice flooring and everything so that you can see our vault. And then I decided to cover up this opening so we can extend the vault and make it look a little bit more uniform. And so, but this is where all of our storage is. Yeah, I did it with the fluorescent lighting around it, or LED lighting if you want to call it that. Then this area down here, this is going to be our craftsman's area. This is where the actual machines and everything are going to be for all the crafting. And we're going to change it up just a little bit, but it's going to connect into this bottom portion of this building, where I'm going to do some editing down here, because there's a portion of this that is in the shroud, and it's so deep in the shroud that it won't let me build in it. So I'm having to just kind of block it off. But this will be another room with more things that are going to be our making stuff. Well, thank you. And And of course, this building here, this is the alchemist building. I did finish it. So I got him with his laboratories and his little black cauldron thing, his mortar and pestle. And then I decided that it needed to have a bridge going to the other tower, so I built the bridge and gave it crenellations just to make it look nice. And then we're going to cover up this floor here, because going downstairs just takes you in the shroud, so you can't build down there. So I'm just going to cover that up. And then also gave him an upstairs, just so we have a view. And did it with the little crenellations just because I thought they looked nice. And this whole wall was crumbling to pieces, and I rebuilt that off screen as well. So that's why this looks the way it does. Previously it all was ruins and whatnot. So now, like I said, I want to leave the ivy as much as I can. And I'm deciding on, I'm looking at how it's got pre-existing stuff here. And what I'm doing is I'm taking what's there, taking the ruins that are there, and trying to reimagine what it was that was actually there before it got all messed up and everything. But this upstairs area, this is where we're going to move all the survivors to. This is where all their rooms, their bedrooms, their houses are going to be. All going to be part of the keep. And the thing that I'm kind of excited about is that if we do have anybody new join, you know, they'll start up there, because that's where the beginning area is. And it has a little tunnel you go through. And that tunnel brings you out here. And you come out from here, and you come out here. And right now, it's all ruined. But I'm really looking forward to this all of a sudden looking like a magnificent fortress that's, you know, got life in it. But yes, I did bite off a fairly large project this time, with the desire to rebuild Longkeep. And then I have to watch for this red line here. That red line, even though my buildable zone goes out farther, because my buildable zone comes all the way out to here, but there are areas that are untouchable. And I noticed that this has an untouchable zone that comes down inside of here. You can see how it's got that red with the yellow that they kind of mesh up. So that's the extent of how far in I can go. So we're going to rebuild with that in mind. Exactly. In this game, you know, your build where you're at and everything, there are no raids or anything that happen. But why not have something that looks nice? And then that little building that's there, that's my temporary keep. You can even see the roofing looks all wonky and whatnot, because I built it in a hurry, knowing full well that I was going to be tearing it down. So I wasn't worried about how nice it looked. That's just communal housing right now for the survivors and for the players. Down there, where you see the two houses, the one on stilts is Pie's, and then the all stone one is Sam's. Go take a look at those. I think Pie did an amazing job with his little house. You come in, he's got his nice torches on the outside of it. And he's got all this stuff set up in here. It's got it really nicely decorated. Got himself a nice little fireplace, a really nice bed. And then he even set himself up, you know, use the Oriental separators, wall separators. But this is where he's got his bathroom and his shower and everything. Toilet and everything. And then he got himself some little mannequins that he's done up with some armor and stuff. Hey, Alhoon. So I thought he did an amazing job with that. And then Sam's more of a purist. Come in. I put that box in there for him. And then he has his bed and a fireplace. So, there you go. I have not built myself a house yet. And then I've got to figure out, that's the other thing I have to figure out, is what am I going to do about this? Because I'm shrouded in here. So I can't build onto that. So I have to do something different with the wall than what they have. And then this area over here, Thunder and I already talked about it. And there's a particular landmark in the game called the Blue Goblin Inn or Blue Goblin Inn or Tavern, and Thunder's going to use this space right here and recreate that thing brick by brick and have it sitting here outside of the keep. Hey, Maltese. Yep, make the shot area sauna. There you go. Good idea. Actually, I might be able to do that because there's a section of it where you can get the little smoke effect off of it, but not the actually enshrouded. So that's actually not a bad idea. I might try doing that. Yeah, then I gotta check. Yeah, see, I'm not gonna be able to connect that there. Will I be able to build here? Yes. Okay. Well, and then eventually the fireplace or the bonfire is going to move, because my plan is, so I already made this plan a while ago, and it'll be easier to look at it from over here. So that main tower right there in front of my head, if you're looking straight ahead, that tower is going to go up a bit taller. So it's going to have multiple bedrooms in it for the survivors. But on the top of it, I'm going to make a stone top, and on the top of it, I'm going to stick that bonfire. A sauna would be funny, but yeah, I like that idea because I'm looking at where that is, and I can't build over that. And yeah, we might be able to make that happen. I'll have to see how I can get the bricks to line up to be able to do that. But that is entirely a possibility. I like that idea. Alright. So back to over here. And looking at what we're going to do. So, some of this is going to be easier than others. Some of it, you got the ruins there that don't make any sense, so I'll wind up altering. You know, if I do something like, well, no, because the floor is going to come straight in through there. Let's try. Let's just go try putting down some flooring here. Does that line up? It does. Okay. Okay, that's connecting pretty good. Oh, I need to watch what I'm doing here. So this will give me my main floor level. Okay, we can go back one more. May as well just get the flooring down, and then we can look at designs and that kind of stuff. Well, it's not going to go all the way back there, but that is, I want to get this set just right. Okay, so this section here, this is going to be a little more tricky. That needs to go in like this. Now come up one. I'm going to have to go over one more block. Oh. Well, that opening makes no sense. We should just make that a wall. Okay. Well, in that case, let's do this. This will be like an archer's tower. Sleep through the night so we can see what we're doing. Oh yeah, the secret door.
Hey!
I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. Uh-oh. Double check. Upload speed looks okay. Double check over here. I think it just had a hiccup. I'm hoping. I'm hoping it was just a hiccup. Okay, give me a second, chat. I'm gonna grab a smoke real quick. I think we're good. Well, I don't know. I'm watching that upload speed. It's bouncing all over the place. Keeps getting back up to where I like it, and then it bounces back down. Not too low though. But yeah, my goal tonight, and that's the worst part, is that the last several times that we've streamed talking about rebuilding Longkeep, we wind up getting distracted and going and doing missions and stuff and whatnot. Oh, what did I just have here? Oh, I just got a Casper raid. Welcome, Raiders. Hey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. How was Roadcraft? I've been enjoying Roadcraft myself, but I know you're a bit farther along with it than I am. Thank you so much for the raid, buddy. You're epic. You dropped the raid just as I was stepping away to grab a smoke. Because we're in the midst of trying to rebuild. I know you've been playing Enshrouded, so you know that beginning area where the ruins are and everything. I'm rebuilding that humongous keep there at the very beginning of the game. Belmata, how you doing? Welcome, Raiders. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves some Roadcraft. Tonight he went from constructing roads to sending y'all over here to me where I'm constructing a fortress. One brick at a time. Well, maybe not quite one brick at a time. That would take absolutely forever. There will be sections of this that will be one brick at a time, though. I'm looking forward to see what this thing looks like when I'm done. And having played things like D&D and other fantasy tabletop games, that kind of stuff, and having studied many castles and things, I also have my mind on how I want the pathing to work, because it needs to be somewhat of a maze. Not a huge maze, not anything insane. Just enough to where an enemy army couldn't just charge in and come down a straight line. Not that there's armies in this game, but I'm trying to think about the lore and everything of the story of the game. So, and rebuilding Longkeep just felt like a cool challenge to take on this playthrough. Now, next time, I have another place I want to rebuild, but that's going to be an absolutely insane rebuild. It's an area in the middle of the little after the beginning of the game, called Fort Kelvin, and I'm looking at rebuilding that. Yeah, I haven't picked up Dune yet. I got the server available, so people like Casper and Floristic and whatnot, they can easily hop on that server and make use of it. Alright, this came out one brick too far, I think. Okay, and then let's remove that brick and that brick so it gets fresh stuff so it doesn't look all broken and stuff. There we go. This guy looking a little bit better. Yeah, let me get out of the way. that looking a little more fresh. And that's obviously an entryway. But why is it... Okay. Okay. I don't know. It does make sense. But now that makes me curious about this. See, this looks like they wanted to have an archway here as well. But that's a weird spot to have an archway with it having this wall here. That's very odd. Alright, let's try to be careful with our removal. Oh yeah, that's all busted up. Okay. Alright, well, let's clear the rubble as best as we can. Trying not to destroy the road. Oh shoot, there's rubble right there. We can fill that in though. Alright, now. Trying to keep the little terrain they had going on there. Okay. There you go. That doesn't look bad. Okay, we can use that. Yeah, that doesn't look like it was all covered in rubble. Get us some more greenery going there. Then we'll need to fill that in with some soil afterwards once we clear this rubble out of here. We'll clear that out as well. that's attaching correctly or not. I don't think it is. That's looking weird. We'll have to come back and clean that up. Cleared that. Oh, what a mess over here to clean up. Alright, let's... that shaped in. Okay. I'm trying to go with the same blocks that this thing was originally built with. Just so it keeps a nice look to it, I think. Alright, now we're going to fill that in. Come on, let me aim where I want to. Something's not right. Oh, there's a spot right there. There we go. Remove that. There we go. Alright, and then alright. There's our walkway into the main thoroughfare. Now see, this thing's got that. See, I feel like this should come all the way across. Otherwise it looks just weird. See, that feels better. What do y'all think? I need to remove that block wall there. Kind of let it go out one more block. Kind of feels like it needs to. No, the whole thing's got to go. There we go. That makes the entrance look a little bit better. Still gonna have a weird entryway there. But because of how tight that's gonna be, I'm thinking what we can do. Okay. That. Alright, that helps take care of the bottom portion of the wall. Now, how tall are we going to go with this? Because the archway goes up there, but that doesn't mean we can't go up above that. Because I also look at how much rubble is laying around and how much rubble we cleared out of here. And that means this place was a pretty substantial size. Going in the back side here. That wants these walls, and it makes sense. It really does. For it to be 2 blocks thick. That's got the beginnings of a renovation going. I'm liking this. And then what we can do is, oh, that'll be epic. Oh, I like that idea. So we gotta clear this out. Oh, there's this pre-existing wall. Oh, wait. Did they? Oh. This whole thing's gotta get dug out. This is actually intended to have a downstairs. All this has to get dug out. So we can set up a downstairs area. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, somebody has joined us.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Pipe. How are you doing?
I'm doing alright. How about yourself?
All right. So, but yeah, like the message I sent you, this time I'm actually forcing myself to focus on actually doing the rebuild, because we talk about it and then we get distracted going adventuring, because it's like, oh, but this block would be cool, or that thing would be cool. It'd be nice if we could make the iron hearts and the iron this and that. It's like, okay, now it's time to stop doing that and focusing on this. I don't know how our supply on clay and charcoal is, but I have a suspicion I'm going to need a lot of bricks, because I'm going to be needing the bricks for the roofing. But if you want to come over here to the quote-unquote main entrance to Longkeep, you can see a bit of what I've done.
Let me grab some of this stuff over here and then I'll hop on by.
Okay. And then I got a spot that, it'd be right kind of you if you'd help me dig this thing out. Because I've seen something just now that I realized there's a whole second level to this thing. That is completely covered up by rubble and stone. Oh, I would recommend making yourself a construction hammer. It makes it much easier for getting rid of this debris and everything.
Alright. I do have one, thankfully.
Oh yeah, of course, you built your own house. Duh.
Well, it doesn't mean you keep it, but I did in this case.
Alright, but then what do I do there? Oh, okay, yeah, we gotta get rid of the rubble here, and then I'll fill it in with dirt to make it look nice. We just gotta be careful so we don't accidentally destroy this path. Oh, okay, she has a quest for us. It says we're live. Let's see what she has. The greatest game. Good shot, but you're cold-blooded. Enemy camp that might be your match. Go on, snuff them out. Okay.
Are we done here?
Yes, we're done here. I did go ahead and make myself an iron pickaxe, because at first I started trying to clear this place out using a pickaxe until my brain turned on and went,
Yeah.
hey, this would be a whole lot faster with a hammer. The challenge I have is the unbuildable zone. That's got that. Alright, let's get the basics in place. I'm supposed to put it right there. I'm a couple too deep. Oh, still too deep. Alright. That just means that section of the wall is just going to be extra thick. Added protection. Fill this in without messing up the stairs. Oh. We wouldn't have messed up the stairs. And now it's dark again, so I can't see what I'm doing.
Well, we can fix that. I'm just going to just work that.
No, I don't plan on going out and doing any adventuring this time around unless there is some kind of material that we're needing for the build.
Yeah, I just went out and got a bunch of salt because I noticed the drying rack was basically out.
Ah, okay. Did I miss this spot? I did. Huh. That wall. I'm okay with that because that's going to be two separate rooms anyways, so we can live with that. Oh. Slowly but surely it's getting there. And the entrance definitely looks better. But basically, if you look at where this rubble is, if you come over to this side of the rubble and look down, you realize, oh, all this rubble is basically stuff that fell down from the keep and filled up the entire basement. So I was thinking, use the hammer and put it in terrain mode and just right click on it and delete it. I need to take a moment to grab a smoke though. Just be careful up here because we don't want to. The spot to be careful about is the path. Don't want to wreck the path. But this will also give me an idea of how far down the wall goes, because you know we got the whole wall over here, and I think some of the stone and rock, because you know it's been thousands of years. I think this is all stuff that's kind of sat and whatnot over time. So it's the whole, you know, uncover the building to see. You know, we're doing archaeology.
Yeah.
Trying to uncover the ruins of the building to figure out what its actual layout was. Grant, we're not doing nice archaeology. We're coming through and going, why is that there? It's a little bit of archaeology and a little bit of developer. Because see, why is that there? That thing's in my way. Just get rid of it. But I am trying to preserve as much of what was already here. And then I'm adding to it to just kind of make it uniform. And trying to fit with the image of what they had. I mean, I'm very curious as to how the level designers, the game designers, how they had actually pictured what Longkeep looked like before the calamity. Now there are a few things I am going to put into this place. They're going to be a bit of an upgrade from what Longkeep had. I'm planning on doing the iron windows with the glass in them, that kind of stuff, just to add some class to it. And then I figured out the shape of Longkeep. The actual keep is supposed to be in the center of this thing. I'm looking forward to doing that. I've already got it kind of designed in my head. It's going to have that long entryway. Yeah, you walk in, and it's a long entryway, and at the end of the entryway is going to be a throne.
Oh, yeah.
Along with a couple of nicer chairs on either side of the throne. Not necessarily as nice as the throne, but, nice chairs, than the chairs that the consultants would go into. Oh, looks like you are finding some wall. Oh, that's got some bizarre... Why did they do it this way? This is interesting. Now I'm not sure that there was something supposed to be here or not. But you know what? We're gonna clear it out, and something's gonna be there. I say just
Yeah.
clear out the whole hill here. And I'll use the pre-existing as our inspiration. Oh. The way I figure it, we can always come back and fill it back in if we really feel like it.
Yep.
Alright, so that's the height of the opening. I think there's going to be a whole section that's on top of this. Because when you think about the amount of rubble that was in here, it very much feels like oh, what did that break? I need to be careful with what I'm breaking. Alright, let's not do that until I know what that's actually dismantling. That dismantled something. Too bad I can't have my jetpack for building.
Or a drone cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, with these block logic games like this, that is one of the things I feel probably should exist, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, just because it's so fiddly to build.
Alright, that fixes that piece. Oh, we could do that. Now that's an idea.
Hmm.
Yeah, trying to find the right spot there is going to be a little challenging. But what I was saying is that this whole section of the hill, all this stuff's down here, that can all come down. Oh wow, there's not much wall left, is there?
No, that section was...
Okay. Well, some of it'll be hollow underneath as we've been, trying to figure out where did it have things. Well, because previously when we did the excavation, we found entire walls, some rooms and stuff doing this,
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to ask you, did you ever play Nightingale?
I have. And it's one I would like to play more, but they needed to fix a good number of core problems, at least in my opinion.
So when was the last time you played?
Oh, I couldn't tell you offhand. Give me a minute.
Probably a year ago?
I don't know if it was that long. I'll have to check. Okay, yeah, it's getting close to a year. September of last year.
Okay, so I hadn't played it in forever, and this weekend I decided to spend a little bit of my time, jump back into Nightingale to see, because I'd been told that changes had happened, and so I went, okay, well let me check and see what kind of changes happened. Okay, lots of changes, tons and tons and tons of changes. The entire, so last time you played, the main map you had like 5 or 6 dungeons that you would eventually go to as you leveled up, got better materials and whatnot. They don't exist anymore. Now it has a whole crossroads area that has all the gates that go to the special zones for storyline wise. And then the gates that you create at your house, those are ones for you to just go do your resource gathering and maybe find some special NPCs. They have created things like I've got a mining thing, a lumber thing, a farming thing, and a hunting thing that you're actually able to assign your survivors to, or your realm people to, the recruits that you get.
Yeah.
You assign them to that, and they literally sit there and just generate that a specific material from that for you, non-stop.
Yeah, because one of my biggest complaints, I guess, if you would, with the game, was actually how combat and stuff was kind of handled. Because it was, even 9 months ago, it was bad. It was asset flip bad.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's good either. I'd say it's still got some jankiness to it, but it's definitely a heck of a lot better than what it was when I first played.
Yeah.
And when I first played, I played opening day because I was super stoked about this game.
I had hopes for it because I'd seen a lot of people cover it. Like the early teaser that they gave to some people and stuff like that. So I had hope for it, but then actually kind of seeing what kind of came out. Not that it was bad, but it was just, it was like they were using a bunch of asset store placeholder for a lot of animations and stuff, which is fine.
Right.
But the problem I ended up having was when your combat animation is the exact same animation that your tree cutting and mining animation is, and it is literally you just swinging in a V pattern.
Oh, okay.
That's bad.
That has definitely changed. That has absolutely changed. I did notice that. Now when you're chopping a tree, you're just chopping a tree. You're not trying to come at it from every which way.
Random bone pile there? Sure, why not?
It's all parlor decoration. Let's see if I do this.
But yeah, the combat system that they had at the time, because it looked like the perk tree and everything was, you know, or skill tree, whatever it was, you know, looked good, or the tech tree, well, again, whatever, you know, looked solid and that kind of stuff, but it was just so hard to win even the most basic encounters because of the really not great control scheme for, or, well, combat.
Yeah.
Like I did the first dungeon, I think it was like the skeleton guys or whatever, that's on your starter island that you go to, and it was super challenging just because of how very, very basic it was.
Alright, careful over here. I managed to get rid of the top side.
Yeah, this dirt path is probably going to get a little bit more damage.
So I managed to clean up what was on the actual edge of the dirt path. Whereas you're clearing it out with a giant cube, I'm doing it one brick.
Yep.
Well, I figured I'd focus on helping take care of the fiddly bits, while you help take care of the larger bits. All right, I see. Wrong. Because if I try putting because what you get out of it is the Springlands dirt, and I'm left going, but I want it to be a road, and you put it back,
Yeah,
and you put it back in its grass.
Yeah, we'll have to just kind of craft our own dirt road stuff, I guess. Although, to be fair, it did definitely kind of look like this wall was also a retaining wall.
Yeah. But what's it retaining? It's got a whole hill going up over it.
Yeah. Which is partly, I wonder if one of those kind of level designer thing where they kind of just used a big old brush to put rubble everywhere instead of thinking about it a bit. But the amount of rubble is quite high. I mean, there could have been, just going by the rubble, there could have been almost anything here.
Right. And that's been part of how I've been looking at this, thinking about it. You know, I hate to use the term mathematically, but I am using it mathematically because I'm looking at just the sheer amount of rubble, which makes me go, all right, how big was this place?
Ooh. I discovered more blocks.
You discovered more blocks? Nothing came up my
there's
street.
floor under here.
Oh, you found flooring. That's the other thing I keep finding interesting with this place is I keep finding more flooring.
Where there should be none?
Yeah. Okay, and then we want to be careful coming out here. We don't want to hit this road either, because these people actually use that road.
And they can build it like they do in Foundation. But yeah, there is a ton of rubble in here, and there's a lot of not make sense, at least in my brain.
But now here's an interesting thing, though. So we saw that all it had was that little bit of wall up there at the top, but now we found the bottom of the wall.
Yep.
So in some ways, I wonder if they had actually planned on making this like this to make it you know, if somebody decided they wanted to rebuild the place and make it a little confusing, and for somebody to really uncover Longkeep, you go, what was here? Because you never know. Those developers, they come up with some crafty ideas, you know?
They do.
Hey. No. Terrain only. Alright. So if you're on that first row on your building blocks, even though it has terrain blocks set, if you try clearing using the terrain blocks, it will clear regular blocks too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just learned that.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here going, I'm just trying to clean this place up. Yeah, like there's so much rubble down here on this edge that I wonder if there's like an archer's tower or something sitting here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it could have been. Could have been.
Hey, look, floor.
Yep.
And I got no problem filling the thing back in with some dirt to make it look nice and whatnot. Alright, we're getting awfully close to the path here. I think we want to be careful of that. I think some rubble is just going to have to stay.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way because this is actually starting to look a little bit like they had a like fort layout that they put in, and then they came back through later and kind of added in the rubble in areas where, for lack of a better term,
where it made sense.
they kind of dev tooled spheres of it in.
Alright, but that gives me this, so we will go ahead and do this. Okay, that wound up going in weird.
Alright, I'm going to take a quick detour.
That way that follows that edge there. Okay, now how tall was this wall? What was its purpose? Oh, but in the meantime, we will do the thing that's easy to do. No. Okay, this is going to take some more careful landscaping than I expected. Okay, that's better. Then we take this, just bring it to about there. Yeah, I know. Pine dug all that out, and now I filled it in. But I filled it in on the side that it needs to be filled in on.
No worries.
Now, what I want to be able to build, and I don't know if this even exists in the game, because I know they've unlocked a lot of stuff, but these poles that we have here that's got the lantern hanging off of it with the chains, that would be awesome
Yeah.
if we could rebuild those. 'Cause I really like the look of them, and they produce a really nice light. But
Yeah, I don't think I actually have seen those being able to be built.
but we don't have those in our buildable list. We can make chains. Well, we haven't unlocked those yet. That's not until we get an Alvin Bale. But it'll be, well, it might be doable. But it takes a lot of fiddling. Making it daytime.
Indeed. Oh, and what did we need saffron for? That we needed tons of it?
Saffron, we need saffron for a couple things. We need it for spice, which is for our food. But I've got saffron growing like crazy. I've got over 100 seedlings sitting in the box.
All right. So I remember we needed a bunch for something the other day, and I couldn't remember what.
Yeah, so you need it for strengthening the flame. Oh, and apparently we have a whole bunch of Enshrouded vulture talons now.
Yeah, I spent some time in my single player going and killing them. I think we're still short on sparks.
Yeah, if you want to go find a spot of sparks, that's easy to do. I mean, literally, all you gotta do is go hit the little flame shrines to grab sparks.
Yep.
And then we can upgrade this, and we won't do it tonight, but that means that we'll be ready to, well, I say ready. If you're not level 25, you're not ready to go to the Alvin Bale summits. The Alvin Bale summits absolutely is a do not enter here unless you're level 25. I mean, could the two of us get by in there? Between your melee and my magic? Probably. At which point we could get coal. And once we get coal, that'll unlock the steel tools.
So we just need a bloom to actually make it.
But the thing is that you have to, well, you collect the coal. That's easy enough. The challenge is being able to stay warm. Because Alvin Bale summits, unlike the Kindle Wastes, which I'm surprised they haven't added this in yet. I'm sure they're going to. But the Alvin Bale summits are so cold that you literally take damage just being there. Unless you have the proper gear on.
Right.
But you remember the giant wall, the black wall that is you could jump up on. There were some boxes and stuff you could find on it, whatnot. But it was always that whole thing going, how am I going to get over this thing? Well, you don't. That is the wall that's blocking the glacier from avalanching down into the Nomad Highlands. But no, there is a couple of builds up in the Alphavale Summits that when you see them, it's going to be one of those things of you and Tundra get to fight over going, this is mine, I am building this. Hey, Tundra loves the cold. And so, I've always been about him getting to build that fortress up there, because there's a fortress up there that you can reclaim.
Man, this flame friend is like not wanting to appear to me. Somewhere around here.
But yeah, what I was gonna say is that, man, if we've got the sparks, then I've got no reason not to go ahead and strengthen the flame tonight to get us past the next level of Shroud, because you have to do it in order to get to the Alphavale Summits. There is no, it's not like the Kindle Wastes, where you can, if you've got the advanced glider, that you can kind of sail over the Shroud and not have to worry about the deadly Shroud, and you can make it over to some of those higher level areas. The summits, there's only one way in, and it's through the Shroud. And it's through the deadly Shroud that, until you upgrade your flame, you ain't getting through. But then there's all kinds of new foodstuffs to grow and make and things. And I'm going to be interested, and I want to hold off definitely on going exploring the Alphavale Summits until we're on our scheduled night.
Sure.
Because there's some really good stuff to find there, and from what I understand, a lot of new stuff in the Shroud and Alphavale and whatnot, just like there's new stuff in the Kindle Wastes. Hey, now that I've seen what new stuff there was, I'm not certain that it was absolutely necessary to start with a fresh character on a fresh map.
There's a lot of the stuff that we've seen is stuff that I remember being half implemented, or at least half of it was implemented, I should say, when I played with Mozzie a couple months back. So there is some new, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it I think has been, incrementally implemented, which makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of it I'm familiar with having been implemented incrementally, because, well, every time there was a new massive update, I started the game back up. But the last few times that they did updates, I didn't feel a need to start fresh. Whereas this time, because of the amount of changes they made, because of the nighttime patrols and everything that they did, felt like it should be a fresh go at it. Yeah,
Sure.
Just to have the experience of what did they add in, what did they do, what's actually new. Oh, we missed a spot there. Oh, no. Did that knock holes over here? I hope not. Okay, good. Generally, it's pretty good about making sure that if there's a wall there, that it doesn't eat the soil on the other side. All right. Oh, this looks like this is supposed to come out one more. thick is this supposed to be? I think this is supposed to be 2 walls thick here. That's got that wall cleaned up-ish. There's segments of it that make me go, Yeah, and I figured that this stream was probably going to have a little bit of a limited viewership because it's a lot of construction. Some people like watching the construction, some people don't. And I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and Sunday's kind of a good day for that, considering it's oftentimes the early turn-in and everything else for people.
What? People go to bed early?
Well, at least those of us that got to work today.
Apparently I
And
don't.
irresponsible.
Oh, see, you had to include that, yo.
Yeah, there you go. That's the key.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there going, I don't do that. But then you added in the responsibility thing, and it's like, oh, yeah, that whole, being an adult thing.
Yeah, being an adult's one of those things where it's like, you do it, but you're like, do I have to?
Yeah. I think one of my favorite ones I saw somebody put up the other day says, the other day I got myself a new pair of tennis shoes, and not a single person asked me if they'd make me run faster. Being an adult is stupid.
Yep.
Although I have learned some new scaffolding tricks watching Chisel Chip. Because you can very much do the jump and place stuff underneath you in this game.
Oh, really? You know, I wondered if it was possible, but then I was like, nah, no, this one won't let you do that. But I guess so.
Yep, no, I watched them do it. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's a thing. Oh, those are my ankles. All right, now. That looks nicer. There, now they kind of match. There we go, now they match. I'm about to build some more scaffolding. Oh, I'm using the wrong button. So you go, why is it not building stuff? But because you're using the delete button, dummy. Alright, this gives me a height to work with. Oops. Okay. Actually, is it at the same height as that? think that needs to be our height marker. And then we can build on top of it. Which means that there needs to come up to here. I was kind of hoping to get enough done over here to where when we play on Wednesday, that when everybody jumps in, that they see this area over here and wind up going, whoa, what is that?
Definitely.
Something happened over there. And then I get to go, yes, it did. But, funny enough, I couldn't believe that I put this many hours in, but, when I check Steam, I played yesterday, I played a bit yesterday, and I played a bit today, on, Nightingale. And it says I've played. It's not getting the playtime correct because when I started playing on yesterday, it had me at 115.1 hours, and now it says I have playtime of 116.9 hours, and yet it says the amount of time that I played in the last couple of days was around 19 hours. I'm going,
Okay, yeah.
15 plus 19 does not come out to 116.
Yeah, just a tad bit off there.
But I am really enjoying Nightingale and what they've got going on with it now. So if you do decide to hop back in, that's the other thing I found was interesting is, remember previously the estate cairn gave you a limited build area.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That doesn't exist. The entire Abeyance realm is available for building in.
Oh, nice.
So, if you were to join in, you would be able to build wherever the heck you wanted to. We could actually have places, and we share, from what I'm seeing and gathering, oh wow, you're level 23.
Yeah, mining does that.
What do you think of my grand entryway here?
Yeah, it's looking good. I don't know if you already have this, but here it is.
Let me check. What am I wearing? I do not. Sweet.
Yeah, I'm just missing the Radiant Paladin boots at this point.
Boots, trousers, gloves. That's it. I've got the whole set.
Oh, nice. About time.
Yep. That's the full set. But if you hop up here and take a look down at what I'm looking at, maybe you can give me an idea of what you think. Grant, to be able to make it up here, there you go, and then turn around and look straight down. See how that wall and everything looks down there?
Yeah.
I see the edge of the wall, and I'm trying to figure out.
That is a weird...
It's got a weird little alcove thing there.
Yeah, and now to be perfectly honest, real life castles definitely had some odd choice wall placement.
Oh yeah,
But
but they were there for a reason. They were defensive. They
yeah,
were yeah.
so I mean, for all we know, this could have been like a
But I'm trying to figure
because
out how
it's a solid wall.
I'm trying to figure out how thick that wall was because you look at it and you're like, that is one very thick wall.
Yeah.
And what I'm looking at, oh crap, I fell down. But if you jump up on top of the entryway, and then I'm gonna hop over here if I can get up there. What I'm thinking about doing is taking this level right here,
Yep.
and we're gonna cover the whole place at this height.
You could do that, yeah.
And then build on top of this.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we do see that at least part of the wall was too thick in here. So that makes perfect sense to make it match up with it.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to do, is trying to do the too thick and whatnot. And you were more than welcome to help me with filling this thing in, because some of this what we're doing, we're just coloring. We're you know, when we have our lines, we're just coloring inside the lines.
Right.
Just so that we don't advance too far ahead of everybody else.
And which block are those?
Those are the roughly cut stone blocks. You only need to have like one of them in your pocket. I mean, literally take your hammer, find a spot out here, and just right click on one block, and you have access to all the stone blocks. All right, Q. Now, granted, I'm gonna have a hard time aiming for the edge of the wall. I think that's in line. Might need to come over one more. I can't tell. I gotta be careful here. So I mean, I've got like 30,000 of these blocks available. So oh yay, more dirt to get out of the way. But this upstairs area, you know, because there's nothing to give us what the design was here. This will all be personal design. the main reason I thought about this heights is because there's a whole lot of wall back here that's at this heights.
Right.
Now, granted, we do need to make a spot for stairs to come up here. So there's going to be some tearing down of what I put up. Because right now I'm just coloring in between lines. At least trying to, if I can see what I'm doing. Oh. Now, when I build the quote-unquote keep, thank you, that helped tremendously. The keep I'm going to build out of materials that are not the quote-unquote native materials that we see here. Huh. After covering it up, I'm up here on the top and going, you know, this don't look like it's nearly as big as what it feels like down below. They did some nice work with their verticality on how they did things. But hey, at least now the place will have a roof. And I just have to make sure we got a way to get back up on top. Oh, that actually... Oh no, it didn't come over the edge. Oh, this needs some interesting stairs and walls in here. Okay. That's a lot to fill in. Wow. I was trying to take that one building that felt like it was the, you know, out of the remnants. It was the one that was the tallest out of everything. Hey, knucklehead. Look at this from outside. Oh yeah, once that gets filled in, that is going to be a serious structure. Alright. Grab a smoke real quick, Pie, and then I'll get to work helping you with the walls.
No worries.
And like I said, we got to figure out where the stairs are going to come out at. Because we're on these stairs that go up to the next level. Tell you what, this little window AC, it doesn't do quite as good of a job as what the little room AC did. But they got a benefit. I don't have to worry about the condensation filling up a bucket and having to dump the bucket every 4 to 5 hours. Whew. Well, and I wound up staying up way too late Friday night. Bye. After I ended the stream, we didn't wrap up chatting and hanging out and everything until like 3 a.m.
Well, you had a big crowd in the game, if I remember correctly. You had like 4 people?
Yeah. Yeah, I had 4.
Oh, that'll do it to you.
But I was sitting here showing off some stuff on Suno and whatnot, and showing them how I design things and that kind of stuff. I still haven't designed a song for Enshrouded yet. I need to. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be because we don't have that the kind of camera thing that we can do on like Satisfactory or anything, where you can kind of do the flyby on the build and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched Shizzleship literally just placing stuff in the middle of the air to use as his step ladders to get up to an area that he's trying to get to.
That's a trick I need.
Yeah, he was right now. He is building this absolutely epic tavern over in the not the Rebelwood, the Blackmire, using the giant trees over there. And he's got a tavern built inside of a tree, and he used the bark and the heartwood blocks to literally build the railings for his stairs. I mean, talk about some meticulous work he's been doing. But wow. Alright, so when we're looking at this, we know that building is 2 stories. We need a spot. Oh, I kind of like this idea. What if we do this? Stairs. Give me a second here. I'm working on stairs.
No worries.
And I don't have it on snapping, so I'm having to...
Oh, yeah. The snapping in this game is interesting. I understand, like, their logic to it, but it's also interesting.
Then I want to do a flat here. Oh, I can't do a flat there. I'm into the red. Crap. All right. Well, at least we're sheltered now. Sorry, I know you're working on the walls. I'm focusing on how are we going to get up there.
No worries.
So I'm having to take a moment to sit here and stare at it going, okay, I made a thing. It needs to have a plan. Oh, wait. What if we make that the plan? That could work. Ooh, I think I like this idea. Will this work? Okay, stairs are there. Oh, I think I can make this work. I got an idea.
You have the power.
Well, I want to do something with the alchemist's secret door. And now I think I've come up with an idea. Come on, Dylan. Build where I want you to. Figured out how to build the secret room I wanted to.
Nice.
I think. Alright, so then I'm down here. This goes right there. Okay, and then we do this here and here, and then stairs. Oh, come on, line up. Oh, they almost lined up. Okay, now fill this in. Now, we're going to take this right here. Hey, Tundra, how you doing? Alright, now I want a little... little. Oh, maybe I need this other way. Alright, put that there. Come on. Fine, we'll do it from this side. There we go. Awesome. Alright, come check it out, Pi. I made the secret room into the secret room. Oh, you know about you do know about the secret door that's in here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so go through the secret door. We'll have to add lighting in it, but...
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Now the secret room is a secret room. And this is our stairwell to go upstairs. Here we go.
Yeah, this looks looking good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, trying to make things work. And I need to add railings to that because that is definitely not OSHA compliant right now. Almost filled it in. And then it went over. Shoot. Alright, now. That. Nope, it did not. How am I gonna aim for that? Oh, I see. Oh, crap, there's flooring showing up. There you go. That was perfect. Yeah, well, you had it perfect for a second.
Nope. That did not come out perfect as a darn button.
That came out the opposite of perfect.
Grr. Yep, see, that's what I mean. I needed that drone so I could be like at an angle.
Right. There you go, right there. Perfect.
Jeez, way harder than it needed to be.
Alright, we got to fill in this corner of the stairs. Fill in the flooring in here. This will become somebody's room.
Oh, and I have a good idea for that spot right there next to the stairs.
Oh, nice.
It's actually a decoration that would actually make sense.
I'm all about having this as a collaboration.
Well, let me see what I can go build at our carpenter, assuming I can find it. Oh, let me tear these up.
Hey, Grant, I don't want to start throwing decorations in until we've got the walls in place.
Sure, but this will let me know if it's actually going to stick or not.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Alright, stop snapping. So I can aim. Did that screw up my stairs? It did not. Okay.
Oh, I may have put it backwards.
Good question. Potty, you do know that you can hold Q to scroll the hologram, away from you or closer towards you, right? When you're doing your build.
You know, I've tried that and it never seems to do anything for me.
Yeah, I've often found it to be less than helpful myself. But Tundra wanted me to make sure that you knew that.
I mean, I want to say I did, but well, let me actually try it.
Okay.
Okay, so it's definitely working for this bench here.
And yes, I know there's a shape that I could have used, but sadly, you know, finagling the shape until it falls in place versus me just filling this in one block at a time takes pretty much the same amount of time. Yeah, Harlow, I'm building a castle. And you want to see what all we built so far? Okay. So, this thing started off with ruins. So it's all broken walls and everything. And you can see how that looks there, right? And then I rebuilt this archway already, and that wall. And I rebuilt that building. But you can see all this is broken down here. But I needed a warehouse to keep all our stuff, so I built a warehouse. Doesn't that look nice? Now, the extra that I built is over here. That space over there, there was nothing. That's my farm. And I'm very proud of my farm. And I built the farmer a house. And look at that. I made it where she's got roses climbing up the side of her house. Because she's super friendly. And then I gave her little flower beds around her house. And then we got all these farm beds and everything. I think this would be a game you would enjoy. So, as soon as we get you a laptop, I'll get you in. Okay? I know my daughter's itching to get to play some games with us, so. And games like this, you know, I feel are perfectly satisfactory for a girl her age. Oh yeah, for the queue thing, yeah. Tundra made sure to throw out there that you have to have the snapping turned off for the Q key to really work for you.
That might explain part of the issue then, yeah.
Okay. And then we still have a little lighting to do. Yay! Feel like Kermit the Frog. Alright, let's fill these in. That goes there. That goes there. That's going to fill in the door. Let's not do that. Now, apparently, at some point in time in the game, we'll actually get a tool. So we got the overgrowth tool already, but there's something that we can use that is an aging tool that supposedly will help age buildings if we want to if we want to build our own ruins, you know. I like the idea though because you know the storyline is, you know, because of the storyline of the game. I want it to be, oh look, people can live here now. Oh, this corner's gonna be a pain. So this lets me do this. Oh, perfect. Line that up perfectly. That's awesome.
Too tall.
Well, I was even thinking about building a little more village-esque, just because of the extra villagers that aren't apprentices. Okay, I finished fixing the walls in here. Now, oh, I don't have the wood. Which thing unlocks? Oh, we have the decay tool already. Okay. I didn't realize that. That must have happened when somebody grabbed something and I didn't get the alert.
I want to say we got it when we got the collector.
No, apparently we got it when we got sandstone. So it would have happened when you first got sandstone, is when we got the decay tool. But I bet he's the guy that we had to learn it from. Okay, that would just make sense. Oops. All right. This room is... Oh, no. There's a big freaking hole there. Personally, I'm not so interested in the decay tool as I am in the, wow, oh yeah, it's even daytime. Wow, it is dark in that room. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Okay, we have stairs.
Yep, that was my expressway getting up at one point.
Oh, okay.
They're good to be deleted.
I'm gonna go lay down and get us daytime so we can see what we're doing.
Sounds good.
Oh, really? Okay. That would explain the heat that I get off my computer. Alright, this is starting to look like a place. Looking at the time, I don't know that we're actually going to make it to having bedrooms and everything for all of the survivors. Yeah. Yeah, that spot where you're standing at, we don't want to cover it up entirely. I think we want to just kind of close it up just a little bit, probably one block at a time, turn it into a window.
Oh, I wasn't going to... I already tried to make those somewhat windowish. Because they both look like they were supposed to be windows.
Right.
But the shape on both of them was not the same.
Was very odd.
Which is also actually classic Castle too, but at the same time, we're trying to make something that looks kind of nice too. So.
And the second story is going to have more stuff set up in it, but the second story we can lay out however we want to. But this building is supposed to be where we decorate and everything for all of our survivors. Everybody gets their own room, but then they have a work area. You know, so the other thing I want to do is head downstairs and start working on the we should probably go ahead and get that. Just so I know exactly where it's going. Because his little home's going there. And then it's going to be a matter of building the exterior walls of the keep. I think that's going to be where we went into the biggest challenge. Although somebody threw in a really cool idea, Pi. And I like this idea. So we got this one section of shroud that it doesn't raise up very high. If we build just low enough over top of it to where the stuff's coming up through it, we can set that up with like tubs or whatnot and make it a sauna.
Oh, yeah.
Because it looked like steam. Because I plan on completely covering that thing up. Just blocking it off entirely. You know, it's an eyesore, so... And it may be that we wind up building the castle walls all the way around the farm as well. And then looking at how Tundra did his little roofing thing, that worked out really nicely, by the way. Put that roofing thing like in the middle of the wall. And the most recent update they put in, apparently, I'm glad that I didn't try making the stables and animal area, the animal pens, the way I was planning on yet, because apparently the animals were jumping over fences.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, okay. Lumen light. Gotcha. It's lumen-ish. But it's awesome that they built their own engine. You know, I like it when they build their own engine. Because then, you know, it's easy for them to, I don't want to say easy, easier for them to be able to tweak the engine for what they needed to do, rather than using like the Unreal 5 engine or anything like that. Alright, so now, okay, that has to go. Get rid of that. There's still a piece of dirt. I hate it when it does that. There we go. Alright, that cleaned that up. Looks like we gotta clear some stone out of here. Oh, yeah, I know, we're right on the red line. Oh. Okay. I can't get the queue to go any further away. Hopefully that's enough. Not quite. I'm supposed to go there. That's one block too far out. Come on, step out. Hey, most of the space will be able to be converted into two-story rooms. Apparently, we're just short on our destruction. Because we're building on the edge. Alright, that is built exactly to the edge of the buildable area. Oh, that's an interesting choice. I like it.
Well, I don't know why there went 3x3 there, but they did, so.
I think this little wall piece that juts out from here, I think we're just going to remove that. Even though it's part of the pre-existing, if I want to turn this into a 2-story room, it needs room for stairs to make it up to the next room. So let's add in this. No, not that. Something that was right there. Added a little bit more shaping to your windows there.
Of course.
Okay. That torch doesn't light, it's useless. Oh, leave that banner though.
Oh yeah, I'm not taking those down. I know we can create some of them, but I'm not sure if we can recreate that one.
Okay. Now, let me go talk to the blacksmith. Where you at, big guy? Hiding behind the chest again, huh? Yeah, I can't wait till we get these out of the way. Oh, that's right. You don't.
Break a leg. Or several.
You don't give me lighting. He does. I'd love to let you craft me something.
Yeah, and sadly we're out of bronze and charcoal to make a lot of this. At least in our magic box.
So we got plenty of charcoal. Browse recipe, bronze, select. Oh. Those are iron. Okay. We are out of 10.
I brought back some, but not a lot.
Yeah, we're out of 10.
Yeah, we did kind of skip the bronze stage pretty much.
Where'd the carpenter go? There you are. I want illumination. Oh, okay, I can grab some charcoal. That's easy.
I'll be here.
Apparently, we're out of wood logs.
Yeah, I figured that was the case.
I did grab some charcoal, so I'm able to make a few things. I really want to. Yeah, that granite fireplace is what's going into the main house. Just because it just looks absolutely epic. Let's go with that.
See you later.
It is getting dark in this place, so. That wall's not going all the way up yet, so we're going to have to aim that carefully. And because that's got a sign right there, we want to have a flame there. There we go. That's got that room lit. Alright, we'll have to wait for nighttime. But I got some light going.
Alright.
I took advantage of the iron.
Well, iron's pretty simple.
But thinking about it, let me double check, because I know something that I'm wanting. Oh, okay, I can make those. Never mind. That's metal scraps, resin, and charcoal, so... Those are too tall. So I remember correctly, these do not go out when it's raining. So... Hey, don't get it wrong, we're gonna need bronze. Who makes oh, hold on. I'm getting my games confused.
Happy to help.
Sarah, who makes the antler chandelier? Because that thing looks epic. Oh, that's right. That's a Nightingale, not in this game. Alright, I'm gonna grab a smoke real quick, Pie.
Alright.
And there's a whole other story to add up there on top of that building. Once we finish getting the walls put in on the lower level. And adding in chandeliers and all that kind of good stuff.
I'll be here.
Now, I am thinking about accent blocks. Because, you know, all the blocks mesh together. So I'm thinking some accent blocks actually wouldn't be a horrible thing to add in on this build. Because, I mean, you know, with the amount of rubble and everything, we have no idea what was inside this building.
Nope.
Hey, we've got a partial skeleton that we're working with here. So, you know, partial skeleton. And I think we're coming up with some really cool stuff here. Now I have to designate who's going to get what room. Now, I thought about putting the green luminescent blocks in the secret room, but then I realized that I think that light will actually bleed through the blocks, and so you'll wind up with this weird green glow that basically says, "Hey, there's something under there."
Yep.
Which kind of defeats the whole secret room idea. Alright, now, this spot here. Okay. We are going to go ahead and take care of this. Come on. Thank you.